Greetings, everyone. It's the New York Thrifter here, and you've joined me mid vlog week. I am doing 1 week of full-time reselling on eBay to see what possible profits I can get. And I started out the day at a local Goodwill. At this point, you have to be asking yourself, does she source every day? To which the answer is every day that I can. So that's a big yes. At least I try to. I take the weekends off for family, but when my son's at school and my husband's at work, I definitely try to hit up the Goodwills. And today I was really focusing on shirts. Plus size shirts have been selling very well for me. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of the rack that I went through today. And there's a Lucky brand for $8.99, which I thought was very expensive. I left that behind. But I just went through it quickly, trying to find anything for resale. There's a really cute plus size top that I grabbed. And then here's another top that I grabbed. You'll see that later in my haul. And so a lot of people in my vlog yesterday and the day before were talking about how lucky I was to be living in New York to find such great pieces. And they are absolutely correct. I have tremendous thrifting being so close to the city. But as you can see, as I go through this rack, you're going to see a lot of off-brands, brands from smaller stores and Target and Walmart and things. So just because I'm in the big city doesn't necessarily mean that I'm finding designer pieces all day, every day. But I'm not complaining because, like I said, there are absolute gems that I find. And when I do find those designer pieces, I have such a great time with them. So I went shopping for probably about an hour and a half or just under 2 hours for this trip. And so next up, I am going to be taking you to my haul.
Okay, so my haul for today is going to start out with 5 swimsuits. And I was so lucky to find these because all of them are number one, ridiculously bright. Number two, they're all larger sizes, usually a 14 or above. And they're all new with tags. Now, I wasn't expecting to source swimsuits today, but when I found these all together at my Goodwill, I knew that I wanted to get them. I paid $9 a piece for them. And when I looked them up online, it looks like they each sell for around $36.99. And so I decided that it is worth the shot to do it. Here's another one of the swimsuits. And this one has faux gems on it, which are fun. So if you do the math on these swimsuits, it looks like if I sell each of them for around $30 to $36 a piece, and I offer free shipping on them, I'm probably going to make, after fees and everything, around $100. And to get these all, up on eBay and sold and shipped is probably going to take maybe, a half an hour, 45 minutes. And I think, fingers crossed, that these are going to be rather quick flips because they are new with tags. It is swimsuit season, and these are just so bright and fun with really great brand names. And so, really excited about swimsuits. Now, originally, like I let you know, I went in to find some plus size tops, summer tops. And I did find some, not as many as I would like, but I found this Lane Bryant new without tags for $3. So I got that. It's got some lace on it. I found this sheer top by Torrid. Torrid is one of my favorite plus size brands. I paid a little over $5 for it, but I paid up because it has skulls on it. And when you're looking at Torrid, skulls are a very big plus. People really are after that. Now this next one is a 1X Dress Barn, and I did not get it because it was Dress Barn. I actually got it because it had such a beautiful print and colors on it. And so I paid a little over, or a little under $3 for this one. I was able to find this. This is not plus size. This is a Chico's brand, which is very well regarded. I got it for $4.50, half off of $9. And the reason I liked it is it was extra long with an asymmetrical hem, and it also has this really neat zipper detail right here. So I did grab that. Each of these tops I'm hoping to put down either $19.99 or $24.99 plus best offer. So I'm expecting a pretty good return on them. I also found two of the same branded tops. These are J. McLaughlin, and they are summer tops. Here's the first one, and here's the second one. I paid a little over $5 for each of these, so I have about $10.50 invested in these two tops. And what I really like about J. McLaughlin is they have a certain kind of fabric they use, which they call Catalina cloth, and it is a stretchy material that stays very cool in the summer. They're very well known for their Catalina cloth. So when I find it in either tops or dresses, I always pick it up. For dresses, you can usually make $60 or more, and for tops, you can usually make $30 or more a piece. And so if you do see J. McLaughlin, I recommend you grab it. And then I also picked up this Chico's dress. It's a leopard skin dress, a faux wrap with a tie on it. And I picked that up for $5. Hopefully I'll be able to sell it for around $30. And then I hit a bit of a jackpot when it comes to reselling. I got all of these LuLaRoe pieces. Now, we all know there's been some controversy over LuLaRoe. Let me show you the tag. And the reason for that is there has been some discussion on whether or not this brand holds up well under wear or whether it tears. It has been saturating the market, so the price is coming down a little bit. But resellers, if you can find these for inexpensive prices, then you can usually make a pretty good return. So this is a pair of one-size leggings with bears on it that are wearing sunglasses. I've got two more pairs of leggings. This one is almost like a green chevron print. And then the last leggings just have kind of an Asian-inspired floral on them. I did check them out to make sure that they didn't have any holes in them. I paid $5 a piece for each of these leggings. I used to think that leggings had names, and so I would ask on Instagram, what's this print called? But the leggings, the prints aren't named, and so you just kind of have to describe them. So, you know, putting pink grizzly bear with sunglasses or 3D glasses for these. I might do chevron or geometric print, Asian inspired floral. Probably is just the best way you can describe them. I don't have terrific luck with LuLaRoe, but I've definitely never lost money on it. So I went ahead and got all of the pieces I found. Here is one of their skirts. This is like a pencil skirt, and it's super busy with really bright colors with kind of a paisley and floral design. And then the last piece I got was this shirt, and it's just a long tunic top that you wear with the leggings. And I really like this because it is more of a solid color. It does have a few stripes on it, but the solid colors tend to do better with LuLaRoe. But again, if you can find these pieces cheap enough, then it can definitely be worth it to invest. Okay, here is a new to me brand. This is actually men's. It was put in the women's section, but it is men's. It's J. Lindenberg, and this is just a button-up top. It's got some interesting details. The buttons are really interesting on this. This is what the front of the buttons look like. And I did pick this up for about, I think this was half off, so I picked it up for under $3, and it looks like I can hopefully get a return on it around maybe 30 or 40. I did find some Lululemon. There's the tag everyone recognizes. These are a cropped piece, and they also have the logo here on the back of the leg. I'm going to have to look these up to find out how much they go for. But with Lululemon, I like to go onto private Facebook groups where they discuss the different styles. So there's one, Lululemon A to Z, that is one of my favorites that I belong in. I got this shirt for half off. This is a Reese, which is a beautiful designer piece. It is white and it has like little stars on it. I got this for under $3, and I'm going to post this up on Poshmark because it is kind of a ritzier brand that hopefully I can get more money for there. I got a Joe Fresh tank, and I purchased this for myself. So for under $3, I've got a great new little white tank for the summer. So I was going through the women's section and I found this Hawaiian shirt, Hail Hawaii. And there was some flaws in it. For example, it's missing one of the buttons here, and also the tag took out a little bit of an owie there, which is, a no-no generally for me. However, when I was looking at it, it had a rainbow on it, as well as it's clearly vintage. And so I don't know a whole lot about Hawaiian shirts, but I do know that some sell really well. So I ended up looking this up, and comparables were about $100. And so I decided, even though there's some flaws with it, I would give it a chance. I would pick it up. Even if I'm not making $100, I only spent a little over $5 on it. So I figure it'd be fun to have something like this in my vintage shop once I open it. Okay. This is a beautiful orange summer dress, and it is by Shoshana, and I picked it up for $9. Now, this brand does not do very well on eBay, but it does do rather well on Poshmark. So I'm going to be photographing this for Poshmark and hopefully putting it up for around maybe $50 and seeing if I get a best offer. Here's another piece that I picked up for myself. This is a shirt dress from J. Crew, and it is in my size. I paid $9 for it, and it does come with a tie around the waist. I am going to try this on, and if I like it, I will keep it. And if not, I could turn around and I could sell it, probably making about $30 on it online. And I saved the best piece for last. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, so I was at the store and I ran into this piece, and when I looked at the tag, it said Mugler. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. And I recognize the name because there's a very important designer by that name. Terry Mugler, I believe his name is, and I could be wrong about that. But I immediately recognized the name. When I looked it up, sure enough, this is definitely a designer piece. This is a color block summer dress that is very tight on the body. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be getting this dry cleaned because it is worth hopefully $100 plus, maybe even $200. And I'm going to see if I can actually send this into the Real. I am going to be putting together a package for them, and this would definitely be something that I'd like to see, what they would sell it for, and what I could get out of it. I did pay $9 for this, and I think it was a really great investment. Okay, so I have my shipping in front of me. I have 8 packages that are going out today. Let's go through each one. First up is this Brooks Brothers red fleece button-up women's shirt with a Hawaiian print in size 14. Now, I purchased this for $2.75, and I sold it for $25 plus shipping. So I made a pretty good profit on that. I really like Brooks Brothers. This next piece is a Jamie Sadek, and this is a man's extra large polo golf shirt. I picked this up at a TJ Maxx clearance sale. I paid $3 for it, and it is new with tags. and it was purchased for $19.99 plus shipping. Here is a Lacoste shirt. This is a woman's shirt and it's two-tone. It's chambray with a lighter and a darker piece. I picked it up for just under $3 and I sold this for $22.50 plus shipping. This is a Ralph Lauren woman's shirt and it had this really pretty Aztec design on it. The only problem with this was when I got it home, I noticed there was a slight hole in the back where the tag had like rubbed through, and it wasn't a big hole, but it was definitely noticeable. So I took a picture of the hole and I put this on auction. I purchased it for $2.75, and so what I did is I put it up for auction for $3 plus shipping. Somebody did pay the $3 and shipping, so I'm going to send this out, and it looks like I just kind of made my money back on this. This is a little girl's dress I picked up for $2.50. It's a Janie and Jack, and it's got big polka dots on it. And I sold this for $15. And a lot of times with children's pieces, I will put free shipping because it, gets me more notices and sells things faster. I only had that dress up for probably 2 days before it sold. This is the COS, C-O-S sweatshirt that I hauled earlier in the week, and I was able to sell this for $15 on best offer. I was hoping for closer to $20 to $25, but when I got the best offer and it came in, it was already maybe noon and I had not made a sale for the day. So I took it even though it was less than I wanted, but I feel good because I got lots of sales after that. This is a Zella woman's workout top in 3X, and I purchased this for a little under $3. I sold it for $18.99 plus shipping. And this final one is an Athleta skirt or skort, and I purchased this for $3, and I ended up selling it for $24.99 plus shipping. So Athleta usually does really well for me. This was no exception. It was probably in my store for less than a week and sold for full price. Now there is one more piece that you're not going to see here that I did sell, and that was a Lacoste woman's green polo. And I packaged that up earlier today forgetting that I was doing this video. Sorry about that. I paid $3 for the Lacoste shirt, the polo shirt, and I sold it for $17.99 plus shipping. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these pieces. I've got my scale right here. So I'm going to weigh each piece, and then I'm going to print out the shipping label on my Dymo label writer 4XL. And then I'm going to take all of these pieces down to the post office and drop them off.
Now that you've seen what I've sold, let's go through the numbers. My total sales for the day were $187.38. Fees, which includes money to PayPal and eBay, added up to $28.11. Shipping cost me $28.81. And cost of goods, or how much I spent purchasing all the items, was $29 even. And so this leaves me with a total profit of $101.46 for the day. I'm off to the post office to drop off those packages, but before I do, Wednesday is dry cleaning day for me. So I'm going to go through all of the items I'm going to take by my dry cleaner and explain why I'm getting these professionally treated.
Let's talk dry cleaning. I have let everyone know that I am not opposed to dry cleaning. I will take in certain pieces to get dry cleaned when they're worth a lot of money and I need them looking their best. So Wednesdays are my dry cleaning days, and the reason for this is my local dry cleaner charges 25% off on Wednesdays for whatever you bring in. So here is my pile for today. I'm going to go and drop these off, and I'm going to pick up my dry cleaning from last week. So pretty soon I will be back to show you what I what I dropped off last week. So the first thing I'm going to take in is going to be this helmet lang top. I've showed you this before. It does have a perfume smell that I haven't been able to get out, so I'm going to take that in to get it dry cleaned. The second piece I have is this Eileen Fisher. This is a great jacket. It's really long. It's buttoned down. It's really interesting. And for the life of me, I cannot get these wrinkles out. And I know that if I try to photograph it and sell it with the wrinkles, I won't get as much money. So I'm going to get this pressed at the dry cleaner. It is clean. It's just wrinkle-tastic. So I'm going to take that in to get it ready to be sold. This is an Escada shift dress for work, and it is made out of wool. So I'm going to need to get this dry cleaned. I think you might have seen this top before as well. This is an Equipment Femme button-down top. These can be worth as much as about $70 on the resale market. So I want to make sure that that gets washed and pressed correctly. Next up is a giant men's sweater. This is a Rag & Bone, which is a amazing brand, very, very expensive. This is a huge men's wool sweater that I need to get washed, and then I will sell it. Here's another wool sweater, APC. I've talked about this brand before. It's a designer brand that does very well on the resale market, so I'm going to get that cleaned up. There's a small spot on it here that I want to see if it can get cleaned up. I've recently been discussing these J. Crew wool work dresses that I can sell for a pretty penny, usually $50 plus. And this one came to the store a little bit dirty, so I'm going to take that in and get that dry cleaned. And last up, you just saw this in my haul, which is going to be my Mugler dress, and I want to send that to the Real. So I'm going to take that for dry cleaning. All of these pieces, each one is probably going to be worth hopefully more than $50 a piece when I turn around and sell them. So when I get them dry cleaned for, between maybe $5 and $8, depending on the piece and the fabric and how heavy it is, it can absolutely be worth it to buy these pieces and take them to your local cleaner. So I'm going to head out now, and when I get back, I will show you some of the pieces that I'm picking up, and I'll be photographing those tonight to start getting listed. Okay, so I just got my laundry back from the dry cleaner, and I'll show you what I picked up. You're going to recognize these first two pieces. They are both J. Crew work dresses in black wool. This is an Alice and Olivia piece, which is a wonderful designer. This next piece was specifically made for Anthropologie, and it's got fish with long legs wearing high heels and carrying purses. And I looked up similar designs, and they are going for a lot. This is in high demand because it was a limited edition artist that did these pieces. Next up is a Badgley Mishka formal dress, and I've showed this to you in a haul. Now that it's dry cleaned, it's ready to be listed. This is a Anthropologie piece with giant flowers on it. I love this dress. It's silk, and it's Molinet Sours for Anthropologie. Here is another work dress, this time by Rebecca Taylor, made out of wool. I have a few blazers. This is a Lafayette 148, and it's just a duochrome, which means you see kind of two colors in it, an orange and a black colors. This is a Elizabeth and James blazer, and it looks like they messed up that collar a little bit. I'll have to fix that. This is a Max Mara jacket. Oh, take my sweater shaver and see if I can get that looking really nice. And these last two pieces, again, are designer. These are Kate Spade. I've got a red dress and a black tunic dress. And I love these Kate Spade. Anybody that follows me on Instagram will recognize these. I found these at a local Goodwill. They were together for $9 a piece. And I grabbed them, and I'm going to be listing them on my eBay store.
Get ready for questions and comment time. I went on to my last few vlogs and I grabbed a couple of the viewers' questions and comments that I could hopefully answer. First one up, this person is talking about taking returns, and she says she's paranoid about returns. And to this I say, don't be. There's two types of returns you're going to get. One is your buyer is going to get a hold of you and they're going to say, hey, this doesn't fit. It's not the color I thought it was. I don't like it. I changed my mind. And in that case, I just take the return. The buyer pays return shipping. I get the piece back. When I get the piece back, I give them their money back, and then I relist. And I don't take it too seriously, because we've all been there. Who hasn't gone to the store or purchased something online and it just wasn't quite right? So you take it back. It doesn't count against you at all. And like I said, the buyer is going to pay return shipping for that. Now, the second type of return is the one that can be a little bit scary, and that is a not as described case, where your buyer will get the piece and they will say, hey, the photos weren't accurate, or the buyer misrepresented this piece, or there's a flaw that they didn't disclose. And in this case, it is up to you to refund the money and pay return shipping if you do want the return. And the reason that this can be kind of a little more dangerous, I guess, than the other one is this: if you get too many not as described cases, or you don't deal with them properly, this can actually count against you for your eBay store. And if you have too many problems, then eBay might shut down your store altogether. And I don't mean to be an alarmist here. All you need to do is you need to be careful when you're listing. You need to disclose any flaws. And if you do get a not as described case, deal with it quickly, efficiently, and make sure that you can make your buyer as happy as possible, and you won't get that defect on your account. This next person asked me if I used a mannequin for display, and the answer is yes, sometimes I do. I did purchase a mannequin on Amazon. I believe I paid around $50 for it. It took a while to come because I think it shipped from China, so it took around 3 weeks to get delivered. When I got it in, I was really excited. I assembled it and I started taking pictures, only to realize it takes a really long time to get the clothing on the mannequin to make it look right. If the piece of clothing is too large, you might have to pin it. If the piece of clothing is too small, it might not be able to be zipped. So at the end of the day, I very much prefer just using a hanger and just taking pictures on a hanger. Some dresses do look better on mannequins, or some shirts or jackets will look better on a mannequin. And so I will grab her for those certain pieces. I'll give you an example here of some of the shots that I've taken with my mannequin. If you do want to get one, go on to eBay, go on to Amazon, search for mannequins, decide if you want a model that is, a full mannequin, one with arms. I got one without arms, which I'm happy about, because apparently those are really hard to dress. You can decide if you want it to be in plastic or you want it to be a round form. They sell the half plastic ones, which have a hanger on top and you just hang it on the wall. But there's literally hundreds to decide on. And if you get really lucky, sometimes when you go and a store is closing, like for instance when the Limited closed down or when Sports Authority closed down, you might be able to go into the store and buy some of their fixtures, including their mannequins. I've heard of people doing this and getting really nice industrial mannequins for $100 or less. And then I've also heard people go into Joann's Fabrics, which is the craft store, and they sell mannequins there. And sometimes Joann's will be running maybe a 50% off sale or a 40% off sale. So again, you can get a mannequin for probably around $60 or $70. And so if you are interested, there are plenty of options out there. Just look around and find out what's right for you. And for the last question I'm going to take today, the person asks how long I usually keep an item or relist it before I consider taking it off of eBay. And unfortunately, I was really unable to answer this question because it depends piece by piece. There are some pieces that I list and I know how much money I want for them, and I'm really kind of unbending. I say this is what I want, I list it, and I will keep relisting it every 30 days until I get that price. Other pieces, I will have it on a 30-day listing. When the 30-day comes up, I will look at it and I'll say, hey, maybe this isn't worth $29.99. Maybe I'll mark it down to $24.99 or $19.99. And so I really play that by ear. And then as far as taking a piece off of eBay, to me, that's the last resort because I've already put in the time to take the photos and to do the description and measurements and list it. And so, what I do in kind of last case scenario is I will put the piece on auction and I will usually list it at or near what I purchased it for originally. So I know I'm at least getting my money back from it. And so, like I said, I have no hard and fast rules for this. Some pieces I will relist 5 months running, and some pieces after the first 30 days, I'll say, hey, I'm just going to put this on auction and get it out of here. I will say that I do have a pretty good sell through rate, and the reason for that is on almost every item in my store, I will put it best offer, which means people are able to make offers to me for what they feel a piece is worth. And more often than not, I will take the best offer because I want to get, the thing sold and get it out of my store while still making a profit. And so I will end up relisting sometimes several pieces a day, but again, that doesn't bother me at all because if I know the price I want for it, I will stick to my guns, and eventually I usually will get it. So that is it for my Q&A for today. Next up, I'm going to go list.
So, the last couple of days, I've been doing pretty good on getting things listed on eBay. But tonight, I bring you an empty basket. Alas, I am at a big zero for listing today. And the reason for that is I had my day job, which I thought was taken care of this week, interfere a little bit. So I had to spend a few hours this evening getting things done for that. So I was unable to list. And so my third day of my week-long eBay experiment, where I am online full time, is not going as well as I would like. I'm going to assume that this is going to affect my sales for tomorrow because I didn't get any listing done today. But hopefully, this will just push me harder to make sure that I up my game for tomorrow. So I'm going to end the third night here and wish everyone really good sales. And I hope you did more listing today than I did. And I will check back in with you tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in, and leave any questions or comments below, and I would love to answer them. Good night.